Happy Wednesday! Are you guys ready for the best show ever? Welcome to Date Night with Connie and Chrissy. I'm your host, Connie Henriquez, and my crazy host, Chrissy Bode.
What's up?
What up? Happy Wednesday. Cheers.
Oh, yeah, cheers. I'm drinking water, though.
Oh, yeah.
I have to hydrate.
Oh, my.
Drank a jug of Tito's last night.
I love it. So, dude, how was Dave Matthews?
Amazing.
I feel like everyone and their mother was there last night.
Really? You know people that went?
I mean, according to Facebook, sure.
Oh, wow. I didn't see other people that were going.
Oh, no?
I hear Pumpkin barking, by the way.
Oh, my God, you're right.
He's ruining our show, guys.
I know.
He's ruining. He's no longer invited to the show.
Why is he barking? That's weird.
Dave Matthews was amazing. I got all the way up to the front.
Yeah?
And then it started downpouring, and I got drenched. Oh. I didn't even give a crap. I just kept dancing and screaming, "I love you, Dave."
And so did he respond?
The guy next to me was like, he just looked at you and you screamed, "I love you." I'm like, yes.
I love that.
It was amazing.
That's great.
Because he's not touring next year, so now I gotta, I really needed to go all in. I needed to get very close.
Yeah.
And thank God it started downpouring, because then we were able to sneak our way up closer.
So you saying everyone left and then you were able to get up?
Yeah, like people that had floor seats were like running out. I'm like, why would you run out? You're not a real Dave fan. They shouldn't even have those seats.
Screw that.
It should only be for people like me.
Hardcore fans.
Because the guy that walked me down, he's like, "Are you okay with this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care. I'll do anything for Dave."
Oh, that's why you got your blowout today?
Yes.
Oh, I knew something was up. Okay.
I looked like a wet dog. And my friend Raffaella was like, "I've never seen your hair look like this." Because usually I have it done.
Now, did Raffaella go down or
no? She stayed up in our seats with our other friend.
Oh.
She's not like me. I need to be near the band. If you and Jeff
realize
when we've gone out after our show.
You're right.
And we go see our friend Dan Donnelly play at JT's.
Or Ola Moore.
Or Ola Moore. I need to be, in front of the band.
Yeah.
And the band appreciates me.
They do. I'm sure.
I'm their number one fan. They love me.
They love you.
You guys should have went.
I'm not a big Dave Matthews fan.
Oh, my God. I can't be friends with you anymore.
I don't think Jeff is either. Are you?
Jeff loves Dave.
All right.
He likes the music.
Do you love them?
I like them a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God. I'll take it, guys.
I don't love them. I mean, I only know like 3 songs. What do we do? Well, we actually celebrated Jeff's dad's, Shelly's birthday. And we actually...
Mr. Joseph?
Yeah. Vicky, did you show the Dave Matthews pictures?
Oh, yeah. Wait, did we see the Dave?
Show them first.
All right, so first here's
Dave.
Dave.
Yeah, there's Raffaella, Chrissy, and
Bruce and Salmon. We nicknamed him Salmon.
Salmon?
Don't worry about it. That's how close I got. And there he is. I zoomed in. That was when I was screaming, "I love you." Wait, who are these peeps now?
No, so now this is Shelly's birthday. Jeff's dad turned 80 years old. So we went to Blackstone's.
Oh, I love Blackstone.
Which was amazing. We went the
Great
whole
food.
fam. So that was a whole picture of the whole fam. And then we have the kids, Alyssa, Adam, and then Marsha, Jeff's mom.
Aww.
They're all very awesome. I love them very much. And then we have Lori and Shelly, Jeff's sister and dad.
Happy birthday, Mr. Joseph.
Happy birthday.
You raised a great son. He's a great guy.
Did.
Great guy.
And there's Jeff's brother, Mike, and his wife, Debbie, and Lori again.
How much people are in your family?
And there's
You're taking up our whole show. We got to wrap this up, guys.
It's a Hemo Ditton segment.
It's like the Brady Bunch.
So, yeah. And there's Lori and her husband, Eric, who we love. So.
Oh, wait, I met them, right?
Yes.
I love them.
They came here as part of our live audience. So we had a great time at Shelly's birthday party at Blackstone. So happy birthday, Shelly. Your birthday's on Thursday, we know, but happy 80th. They're awesome. I love them. When you date someone, you always wish they have an awesome family.
Yes.
So I lucked out.
That's key. You got lucky.
I did get lucky.
Well, you could tell from the person that you're dating as well that they're going to have a nice family.
You're right. You just never know that, but yeah, I'm very lucky.
So. Well, they raised them to be that way.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
True
so
that.
Congratulations, you got lucky.
Thank you.
Now,
and then also, which was really fun, which is something I haven't done in a million years. We went to Great Adventure.
I saw your pics. I didn't know you. Thanks for the invite, guys.
I know.
I don't like roller coasters. I wouldn't know what.
Oh, you don't like roller coasters?
No, I'm scared of everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't gone to Great Adventure since I was like 5.
Wow.
When was the last time you've been there?
I don't even know.
You were probably like 7.
I don't even know.
So it was really fun. We did a road trip. So, we rented a van. The whole family went with my parents, my sister now.
Did you go on the Scream Machine?
They don't even have that anymore.
No way.
That's like so 2002.
Sorry.
The Green Lantern now.
I heard of that.
Yes. It's pretty crazy. We didn't go
I think Greg T from Z100 went on that and he puked.
Really?
What does it do? Yeah.
It's a stand-up roller coaster. You actually stand up. Which we didn't go on because Natalie and Frank went on it last year and they said they didn't recommend. But we did the Superman.
Oh, the Superman, I think, might have been the one. What is that one?
Which is the most ridiculous thing, because what you do is you're actually laying down.
Oh, God.
It's a very weird ride. And then your legs are like, how would you say your legs? Like,
dangling in the air?
Supposed to be flying like Superman.
no, but Superman doesn't fly with his legs like crouched up like that.
You're crouched?
Kind of.
The way you would be in front of a toilet bowl if you're going to throw
Right, exactly.
So, and then you're going upside down?
Right, yes, the whole thing.
Oh, my God. You didn't throw up?
No.
Oh, God.
It was an experience. I wanted to embrace it, have
That
fun.
would have been funny if you threw up on Joseph.
That would have been great. And he would have not minded.
He'd be like, honey, let's make out now.
That would be the right answer.
Well, your Tito's puking all.
That would be the right answer.
Well, we're going to ask Janet.
And I'm sure Janet would agree.
What a soulmate means. We're going to ask her. So,
You should hold your hand when you vomit.
So you're very ballsy. All right.
Yeah, so
I didn't know this about you.
Yeah, we had a great time. We went on all the rides. It was amazing. We went on the new Joker ride, which was like you remember this?
That's it!
The Joker
That's
ride.
the one that Greg T from Z100
Yes.
puked everywhere on. I listened to live on the air.
He puked?
Yeah, on the Joker ride. That was it.
Yeah.
That was the one.
Do you remember like at the carnivals, the old Salt and Pepper, like the ride that like flips around, like it's like a...
I never did anything like that.
No?
I did Scream Machine once. I thought I was going to die.
All right, so now that's like old school. So imagine what they have now in terms of technology. So this is like a cubicle that you're in, kind of, and it actually twists the whole way during the roller coaster.
I would throw up.
It was very scary, I have to say, but I had to do it.
You did it?
It only lasted 30 seconds.
Oh, my God. So what was the Joker?
That was the Joker.
It just twists you?
You're in like a cubicle would you say it's a cubicle? I don't know. Like a cage that twists.
Oh, you're in a cage.
Yeah, and then it's exposed, and then it goes through the whole roller coaster while you're flipping.
Are you in your own cage, or are you with the other people?
No, I was with Jeff.
All right, well, that wouldn't be as scary then.
No. Well, I was like, you were like, holy crap, what?
I don't trust those rides. I wouldn't trust it.
I try not to think about it.
Oh. Were you teetoed up before you went
No, I should have been. That was crazy.
dumb.
That would have been crazy.
No, then you really would have thrown up.
I probably would have. No, I was pretty sober.
All right, so that was interesting. So you guys did that. What else?
We had a great time.
Oh, wait, we have our big event coming up next Wednesday. Let's not forget to tell everybody.
Vicki, you could show our flyer.
Yes, we have our 1-year date night anniversary coming up at Carlisle on the Park.
Carlisle on the Green.
Why do I always want to call it
Because it's Carlton on the Park you get confused with.
Carlisle on the Green.
It's Party
Steve
in the
Carl
Park.
is the owner. He's amazing. He's letting us
We love
host it.
Steve's. We're doing Party in the Park, Carlisle on the Green next Wednesday.
Yep.
We're going to be there, I think, at 7:30.
Yes.
And
we'll be doing interviews.
we'll be doing interviews. We want all our old guests and
Yep.
anyone, all our friends, come hang out. It's just to have fun.
We'll have our pink carpet.
We'll have we'll have the green grass.
James, we need a pink carpet.
There we go.
ASAP.
But we're going to have a great time.
I know,
I'm
it's going to be
looking forward
amazing.
to it,
We're going to have
yeah.
all our old guests on. I wish we could have our Skype guests. We should have like laptops all set up, have hems on.
That'd be great. Hems! That would be
Where
great.
was he from again? The United Kingdom.
Yeah.
What a great guy that guy was.
Yeah. So if you're local on Long Island, you want to come hang out next Wednesday, definitely do so. Carlisle on the Green at...
But drinks are not included or food.
No, it's cash bar. It's like, you know what?
But just so everybody knows. I don't want,
Come on. It's Party in the Park. We used to go there all the time last summer.
Yes.
Because our show used to be on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So on Wednesday we used to go hang. It was a lot of fun. It gets super
amazing.
crowded. So don't get there too late because remember, it's hard to park.
Yes.
So
and that 70s band will be performing.
Exactly.
They're awesome.
So
there's a DJ.
Time. Yeah.
And then you can hang out with us.
Exactly. Date night.
Date night style.
Date night style next Wednesday. And then also, just so everyone knows, if you're located on Long Island as well, in the month of July, we're going to be doing a bar crawl in Patchogue.
With O. Ellamore.
Yeah, during Alive at 5. So we'll get you that date as well.
Yep.
I think it's
Ellamore was a guest on our show. The guys with the masks, they're amazing.
Yeah.
They'll be performing at what's the name of the place?
What?
Emporium.
Oh, they are
outside.
at Emporium. All right, perfect.
At the Alive After 5. What is it called?
Alive
at 5 or
Alive After 5.
All right, fine.
No, you're right. You got it. So we're gonna.
Is it really at 5?
It really is.
All right, fine.
I feel like it is.
It used to be on Fridays, and then they
It
switched
was.
to
I loved it
Thursdays.
on Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because they wanted to make it more family oriented.
I know, but
I don't know why.
who's going to now go out on a Thursday night and get
We will.
drunk?
Well,
All right,
obviously
fine.
we will. And anyone else who
All
wants
right.
to join us.
That's right.
But anyway, before we get into July, make sure you're there next Wednesday at 7:30.
Exactly.
Carl on the Green.
All right, what's your Start Loving Life tip?
My Start Loving Life tip of the day is, I gotta cheat and look at it. Okay, this is a good one. Lighten up and laugh.
Janet will like that one, our guest.
So when you think about it, how many times are people so serious?
Yeah.
So serious, right? So what I do is, and this is a really good tip, anytime you have a moment that's just pure funny, like a great adventure, there was a moment that was so funny that I couldn't stop laughing.
Tell us.
It really was not.
What'd she do?
No. It was
Now
just
I
something
need to know.
silly. It was something silly. It was funny. It's not like a thing.
God.
Anyway, it was just so funny. So
Why won't you tell? You can't say that and then not tell us.
I know. The point is this.
Oh, God.
Okay. When you have a funny moment in your mind, file it, because what you want to do is, in a moment where you really want to think about something, or let's say you're down and you want to just think about something funny, like think about what that thought was. Because when you think about it, like we love to laugh. When we go out, we just laugh. And I know like Jeff and I, we just laugh. Like we do laugh more, because laughing is freaking fun.
That's why I watch Impractical Jokers. That's my favorite show.
Oh, the show. Okay, right.
Remember I was going to have Murr on?
That's right. So just do your point to laugh at anything, like literally anything.
I do.
It makes such a difference. A lot of people don't do that though.
I know, it's terrible.
Don't
be so serious all the time. Jeez.
Exactly. Lighten up. Life's supposed to be fun.
That's right.
Laugh a bit. Smile.
Now I love my bestie. I love this. This goes along with the law of attraction stuff. So who doesn't love candles, right? We love candles.
We love candles.
And who doesn't need more positive energy in their life?
We all do.
South River Candle Company. Do we have the pictures? Yeah. They came out with their crystal collection. I love it. I'm going to buy 2 of them. They're each beautifully scented, and they come with an energy crystal placed on the top. So like for love, they have the rose quartz. So it helps release and enhance the stone's properties. So you leave the stone at the top of the candle and you light it. And supposedly it helps release the properties. I'm going to get the prosperity. They have prosperity. Did we already show it? Love, prosperity, calm. What was the other one? Do you see it? Calming. I don't even know what the other one was. I don't know. Can you read it, Joseph? Joseph! All right. Whatever. There's a bunch of them. Just go to their website. I didn't even write it down. But it's southrivercandleco.com. $30.
I love
though,
it.
for the
That's
candle.
a bargain. And you know what? It all depends. When you walk into a house and you smell the candle, like, wow, that really smells.
That. I know.
And then some candles just don't smell.
Right.
It says they smell, but they don't.
I don't like that. That was a ripoff.
It's a ripoff.
They're scamming us.
Exactly.
I don't want to be scammed in my life. All right? I'm sick of being scammed. In love and with the candles.
Oh, no.
All right, so let's take a quick break. We'll be back with Janet Dalgleish, and she is known as the Identity Shift Ninja. Yeah. I've been dying to have her on the show. I
love that freaking title.
I love it too.
Amazing. I want to be right back with it.
I know. We're going to ask her. Grab a Tito.
Where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hot hair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
You smell so good, I won't have to bathe the next 2 weeks. Anything. So, here, laugh a little harder. All right?
I will take him. I would be proud to show you off, you little old weirdo man.
Get a new sweater. The worst dressed man here tonight.
Right.
Look, get that laugh, and get it in there tonight because nobody else is going to laugh like her. She's under drugs, all right?
And we're back,
We're back.
with Janet Dalgleish. I don't want to mess up your name. She's the Identity Shift Ninja. She helps you become the person that you want to be. And she has an international following. She's also part of the faculty at Good Vibe University, which we love.
We love.
And she received 3 Law of Attraction Leaders Awards for books and coaching. And actually, we have her 2 books up here that I want to show everybody. And Janet, what's the name of them?
There's Your Everyday Superpower, and then the second book is Mastering Your Everyday Superpower. But I always tell people to start with the first one, Your Everyday Superpower.
Okay, and just quickly, what's the basis of the book?
The basis of the book is that the new brain science actually tells us how we can open the door to altered realities. So it gives us a grounding for law of attraction. It kind of explains how it works and why it works from a really... Because we live in these physical, meaty, messy bodies with a physical, meaty, messy life. And sometimes talking about energy can feel a little slippery and kind of airy-fairy. So what I wanted to do is bring in this much more grounded approach. So
I love it.
It kind of asks the question, does this help to explain law of attraction? And I think the answer is yes.
Because so many people get confused by it. That, you know.
Yeah.
There's so much information out there about it. It's like, just give us exactly what we need to do.
Exactly. All right.
Right?
Exactly. So, Janet, first we want to comment how cool your title is.
Yes.
Because I think that's pretty cool.
I love it.
With that is, what exactly is identity shifting?
It's the term that I use, which I'm not the only one who teaches this kind of material, but basically the concept is that when we want something in life, so whatever our dream life looks like, whether it's a hot lover or a fat bank account or a dream home or a dream job or the right car, whatever those things look like, we want it because we think somehow it's going to make us feel a certain way. Usually we want it because it's going to make us feel good. And there's going to be a shift in identity. So I am going to become the girl who is, well, you guys know that I literally this morning signed a lease on a new rental property that we're moving into, and my husband and I have sold our house. That's because I'm moving towards an identity of someone who is much more of a gypsy, adventurous traveler, rather than someone who's kind of cemented and tied down to one place. So this is a shift in identity. And we go through these shifts in identity every time we have a major life change, or even small ones. And the most effective way to get the dream life on the outside is to make the change on the inside, so that we match that identity. We become the person who is living that life before the outside details of that life actually get here. And the reason that I use the term ninja is because I have a thing about keeping stuff secret. I really like the idea that we kind of infiltrate. The ancient ninja they basically, nobody ever knew what they looked like. They were in disguise. They could infiltrate a household. They were like spies. So there's this sense of, instead of claiming to the world and telling everyone and their dog what you're creating, you kind of go about it, you hug the thing to yourself, you do it internally, and then when the outside stuff happens, everybody around you kind of goes, wow, that was incredible, you did that so fast, looked so easy, and it's like, yeah, because I was doing all this stuff on the inside that nobody even knew about.
Wow. I love that. I love that.
I love it.
Now, can you actually tell us how we can go about doing this? What are the steps to make the shift on the inside so we can attract what we want?
Awesome question. There are 3 ninja moves that I use in the work that I do, and how we do each of these ninja moves is such an individual thing. I think this is why people often struggle with law of attraction teachings, because there's a lot of people out there kind of teaching a template which worked for them, but it might not be the right template that was going to work for you. So when we kind of break it down and take a step back and look at what's happening with our neurology as well as with our energy, there are 3 fundamental moves. The first move is clarity. Now, that doesn't mean you have to know every single detail of the dream life that you're trying to create. But what you do need to know is some sense of who that girl is or who that man is. So for example, if you're looking to create a dream home, you might know exactly the kind of dream house that you want. You might have a Pinterest board full of pictures, but you might not know the details. You might just know that it needs to feel more spacious, or you might know that it needs to feel more cozy, or both, and homes can do both at the same time.
Okay.
So the clarity is more to do with how it feels. There's this sense of how is that dream life going to feel? How is that ingredient going to feel? And when you can drill down to that kind of clarity, that's when you start to really get a connection to it.
I love
So
it.
that's step one. That's ninja
Okay.
move one.
Ninja move one.
Oh,
Now, is there
ninja.
nunchucks involved in this? These ninja moves?
It's entirely up to you. I make no claims about
Chris will have
instruments
them.
or implements.
I'll get mine.
So you have a pair already.
I do.
The second move is what I call, it's basically how we bring it into our real life right here, right now, before the externals have arrived. And I think there are two parts of this. And some of these will sound really familiar. But the first part is what I call imprinting, which is where it's an act of imagination, where we connect in our minds with this new identity. So this is where things like affirmations would fit.
Okay.
Or vision boards, or scripting, where we journal as though the thing is already here. The second part of it is what I call anchoring, and this is more to do with bringing things into the visceral, physical reality of life. So, for example, if you're looking to create a life of somebody who lives in a dream home, so you're creating this identity of someone who lives in a dream home, perhaps one of the things that you know about this girl or this man is that they always wake up with fresh flowers on the nightstand. Well, you can do that right now. You don't have to wait until you've got the perfect home. Or maybe you know that they have a special space where they meditate. You can set that up now. You don't have to wait until you've got the home. So it's about finding these physical ways, and that's what I call anchors, and then working with them all the time. And then the third move is inspired action. So that's not about, and the reason it comes last is because we want to wait until we've stepped into that identity. It's like we've inhabited it. So it's not like fake it till you make it.
Right.
This is more like inhabit that persona, that identity. And when you're in that identity, you can ask yourself, what would she do now? What would he do now? So again, for example, the things don't have to be related. So if you're looking to create the dream home, you could go out for a coffee, and then you ask yourself, how does a girl who lives in a dream home order her coffee? How does she sit and drink her coffee? So you can sort of take this out into your really ordinary, everyday, nitty-gritty world, and you become that identity. And as you do that, a couple of things happen. First of all, the universe has to start delivering the externals that are a match for that identity. But also, you're rewiring your brain. And this is where it gets really exciting to me. You are setting memories up in your brain of what it is like to be the girl who lives in a dream home. And your brain starts to see opportunities and all kinds of things that it literally couldn't see before. It wouldn't deliver them to you because, as far as your brain was concerned, you were not a girl who lived in a dream home. If you don't like your house, your brain was going to go, well, she's a girl who doesn't like her house, so I'm never going to show her anything that changes that. But when you step up and take charge of that identity, you can change that. It's very cool stuff.
I really love this. I'll be calling you later tonight. But for love, right?
Yeah, so the whole idea
I love
is
the dream
totally-
home thing too.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people do this for love too. So Janet, can you give us a little bit more examples? Because I think the examples are really telling,
Yeah.
and it really explains to people that are listening, what you mean by what you're saying. So how would someone use this in terms of attracting love?
I think the key here is, and this can sound really hard to pull off. So I want to kind of put some soothing here and say that you may well have heard stuff about, you make space in your bedroom for the partner, you empty out your drawers and your closet, and you make sure you've got a double bed and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Sleep on one side of the bed, I fall off. Because I'm sleeping so close to the edge, they fall off.
Like you hear?
And then your cat sleeps on the other side anyway. And doesn't
Oh, God, I'm not a cat lady yet, Janet. Good. Hasn't gotten that bad yet.
So the key is to drill down a little deeper and ask, who is the person who is already in a loving relationship? What are the characteristics of that person particularly? And this is where this clarity piece comes in. So so what is it that I'm looking for when I look for a relationship? Am I looking for something like a sense of belonging, not belonging to, obviously, but belonging with?
Right.
Or am I looking for security? Or am I looking for fun? Or am I looking for somebody who will share my political passions and help me, be an activist with me? Am I looking for somebody who fulfills a sense of adventure, somebody who's going to say, yeah, let's just hit the road and live in an RV for the next 20 years. So there's got to be a sense of who is that person going to be when that relationship is here, and stepping into that identity now. Because for as long as we have the identity of someone who wants a relationship, that's the identity we're going to continue to have. So there's a sense of, and I know that when you're feeling lonely, or when you're feeling, not that I'm talking about you guys now.
Of course not, never.
She has her soulmate. God.
But, if there's a sense of loneliness or feeling bereaved or anything like that, then you need to do a lot of self-soothing. And this is where self-love comes into play. A sense of knowing that you are okay. That I think Jerry Maguire did us all such a big disservice with the line, "You complete me."
Yeah. Oh my
God.
Because the truth is,
I like that though. I like somebody who said that. Good.
No, you
it's
don't.
corny, but when you think about it, it's like, I don't want to be a person who is incomplete until I have the right person. Because so the idea is, I want to say, look, I complete me, and then I step into a relationship with you. We complete ourselves, but we don't complete. We're not responsible for completing each other. So when you have this identity that says, you know what, I'm actually okay as I am, and I really love myself, and the things that I want are whatever they might be, connection, belonging, adventure, whatever those things are. The question is, how do I gift them to myself?
Right.
And how do I then step into the identity of someone who feels complete just as I am? And at the same time, being open to the idea that I am, I am somebody who is in relationship. So, for example, if you're, here's a really good example. I like this one a lot. If you're the kind of person who won't go to the movies unless you've got a date or unless you've got somebody to go with, try an experiment. Go to a movie. Often a kids' movies are great to go to on your own because nobody judges. Everybody's so busy worrying about their own kids and how they're behaving. Nobody takes any notice of people who are there on their own. So go to the movies on your own, and as you're sitting there eating popcorn, pretend that you've got a partner who's just gone to the bathroom. So you're having a fun time at the movies. You can, especially with kids' movies, it's really easy to connect to the kids around you, to the other parents who are, the parents who are laughing. Especially if it's a good movie. Yes, you don't want to go to a crappy one.
So if he doesn't come back with my goobers, then what do I do? Honey, where are you? You were in the bathroom a long time. Where's my goobers?
So there are these little games that we can play with ourselves, and I think what you were saying earlier, Connie, about lighten up and laugh. This is a big piece of it, because if you are someone who is in a fun-loving, happy, adventurous relationship, then you are not going to be the person who's sitting there saying to themselves, I'm so lonely. Where's my other partner? What's wrong? What's wrong with me?
Right.
So awareness about that kind of self-talk is really helpful. And then it is that question of going, okay, let's get clear about why I want the love. What am I looking for myself? And by the way, this is where I highly recommend Lisa Hayes' book, Score Your Soulmate, because she addresses this in really fine detail.
Okay.
She does similar work to what I do.
Yes, we had her on. She was amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome. So it's about getting that clarity for what you're looking for, and then about engaging with the person you are when you already have that. Another really good example, and I know Lisa talks about this in her book, is if you're an animal lover, and one of the things that you want looking for in a soulmate is somebody who is an animal lover, who will, be okay with you having foster dogs, or be okay with having 15 cats or whatever. Then, not that we're not talking about, we're not putting down cat ladies, we really aren't. Some of my best friends are cat ladies, believe me. So it's about saying, okay, what would that mean in a partner? That would mean somebody who maybe goes out and does dog rescues and or works at a dog shelter, volunteers at a dog shelter. So do that yourself.
Okay.
Become that person. Do those kinds of activities. So it's about really engaging with that identity of who you want to be.
So for the people who, struggle with the constant negative self-talk, how do you help them to turn it into positive self-talk and, just get in alignment with what they're trying to attract, whether that be a lover or the dream job, whatever it is? How do you help somebody make the shift from the negative to the positive and to get into alignment?
Okay, this is where I really lean heavily into the brain science.
Okay.
Because our brains are amazing things. They are they're these incredibly sophisticated biological machines, if you like. We are not, but we are not their victims. We are the users of our brains. We know now, we didn't know this 20 years ago, but we know now that our brains will physically and literally rewire as a result of our thoughts and habits. So our habitual thoughts will literally rewire our beliefs. So one of the ways that one of the techniques that I use with my clients, especially for what I call a sticky thought, something that just isn't shifting just from being aware of it, is a technique I call vibration rehab. Because the way that these thoughts work in the brain, they have a chemical signature to them, if you like. So a thought such as, let's pick a limiting belief, such as
I'm never going to find anybody. There's nobody good out there.
Yeah, all right. That's a belief.
That's perfect.
I got a lot of them, Janet.
I'm so glad you were prepared with that.
Bring them on. All right, so let's take that one. There's nobody out there. I'm never going to find anybody. The first thing we know about how the brain works is that it only delivers a tiny fragment of information to us, to our conscious awareness. So our brains are processing something like 11 billion bits of information per second. But we can only mentally process about 40 bits. So it does this massive filtering act. Now, a lot of that information is stuff we never need to know, like, the condition of certain parts of our body. We just don't need to know that.
Right.
But there's an awful lot of other information that's coming in from outside that we just never see. And the way our brain decides on what to give us is it looks at what we've already experienced and it gives us more of the same. So when it has a belief, such as there's nobody out there, I'll never find anybody, it's going to keep giving us that same experience over and over and over again. So we know that we need to shift that. So the good news is we know we can rewire our brain. So the technique that I use, this is based on work that was done to help people overcome obsessive compulsive disorder, which is very much about an anxiety disorder of the brain. So when we get these habitual thoughts, there's like a chemical signature associated with them. And so all of our brain cells are kind of swimming in this chemical soup, if you like, that's made up of a cocktail, a very specific cocktail linked to that thought and the emotions that come with it. So we have the thought, we have the emotions, and our brain gets bathed in this. And our brain cells, it's almost like they become addicted to it. They start jonesing for it. So when we haven't had that thought for a while, the brain cells will be going, we haven't had a hit of that anxiety chemical for a bit. Let's give her, let's trigger that thought. And suddenly, out of nowhere, you get this thought: "There's nobody out there for me. I'll always be alone," or whatever it might be. So the key is we want to address the thought. We want to shift it and create a better feeling thought, and we want to give the brain a chemical something to change its chemistry in that red hot moment. So there's 3 steps, and we kind of do them all at the same time. The first step is when the moment you become aware of that limiting thought popping into your head, is to take 3 breaths, long, slow breaths. What that does is it floods your brain with oxygen. It puts a stop to the stress response, because when we get the stress response, our bodies immediately, we start breathing shallow, we start getting ready for fight or flight. If we deliberately slow our breathing, it sends a signal back to our brain to say, it's fine, all is well here. So that's the beginning of it.
Okay.
And then we want to have a thought that actually counteracts that original thought. So the thought might be, and it needs to be, this is really individual, so you've got to kind of play with this and find the thought that works for you.
Okay.
But a thought might be something like, there are plenty of human beings on the planet. There's going to be at least 100 that are right for me. That might be a thought that would work for you. If that feels like too much of a stretch, you could say something like, I don't have to figure that out right now. All is well. So you can play with this. It needs to feel a little stretchy, like a comfortable yoga stretch kind of stretchy, but not so much of a stretch that you just go, that can't ever happen.
Right.
So you find your foundation thought. You can write it down. I recommend writing it down. You can fine-tune it, but you practice that. So you say that to yourself at least 10 times while you're taking a deep breath. And the third ingredient, which is the triggering of a better chemical makeup in your brain, is to activate physical pleasure, sensory pleasure of some kind, because it floods your brain with dopamine, which then kind of sweeps aside the anxiety chemicals that you were feeling. My favourite go-to thing is a particular essential oil blend that's made in a local store that I just happened to come across. I love it. But you can do this with...
Well, come on, Janet, tell us about it. Don't mention an oil and not tell us. What is it?
Where do we get this oil?
It's called Stress Relief, and anyone who wants to go to Lotus Oils in Ballarat in Southeast Australia, go for it. It's the one to go for.
Is it by the box?
I don't know that they do online. I'll send you guys a bottle of it.
All right. I need it. Thanks, Janet.
I love it.
I'll drink it in my Tito's.
And I think also, just to tag on to what Janet was saying too, sometimes when you are so lost and you can't move forward because you can't believe it, you could kind of look at your past and say, well, I've had boyfriends in the past.
Right.
It's not like I haven't always been single. So also knowing, there's evidence in the past of you doing it before. Maybe it wasn't ideal, but you have done things before.
Right.
So for viewers that are stuck on things, kind of look at the past and say, like, I have had boyfriends. Maybe they weren't ideal, but I have done it. So why wouldn't I be able to do it again?
Exactly. And I think it also helps to be able to look at other things that you have been able to manifest really easily.
Right.
And kind of go, well, look, I was able to create this amazing TV show with my friend.
There we go. Come on, that should be enough.
You know how to do collaboration and partnership. You know how to do so many of these things. So yes, having that evidence is also really, really helpful. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I agree.
I agree with that.
All right, so Janet, so we just discussed how it would be for someone who's looking for love. What about someone who's in a current relationship?
Ooh.
How can they use this to maximize their relationship?
I can talk about this one from personal experience because my husband and I, bless him, we've been together for, oh my gosh, we'll in October this year, we celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And a big part of that has been, I think, a conscious decision on my part that I was not going to make him responsible for my emotional well-being and vice versa. Now, I have to say right up front, my husband is not into this kind of work, and there's no requirement for him to be that way. I don't need for him to be into law of attraction or into any of this stuff. He's a lovely man. He's really kind, and he's extremely funny, and we're kind of weird together.
I like weird.
But for me, there was a moment, probably 10 years ago now, even more, where I realized that I had been, even without realizing it, trying to kind of reshape him a little, because I had some part of me that needed him to get on board with all of this stuff. And he clearly wasn't interested. And then there was a moment where I kind of went, that's not his job. It's not my partner's job to kind of to make me feel validated in my belief system. That's my job. It's not his job to make me feel more secure or more interested in the research that I'm doing or the reading that I'm doing. That's my job. He's never read my books, and that's totally fine. So I think with current relationships, the key for me is, again, it comes back to that identity shifting. Who is the person who is in a partnership of equals? A partnership of equals, that nobody needs to change to fit the other person. Nobody needs to be wrong or right in order to make each other happy. So and I'm not saying we never fight. We have fights. But I always remember at some point that before things get really catastrophic, I always remember that it's not his job to fulfill whatever it is I'm trying to get him to fulfill, whatever that might be. You know, my emotional well-being is my responsibility, and his emotional well-being is his responsibility as well. So if he's having a day where he's feeling cranky because of something that's happened at work, or, you know, he's struggling with something, yes, I'm totally there to support him. But the moment I realize that he's kind of enjoying the wallowing, that's the moment where I go, here's a cup of tea, I'll be over in this other room doing my thing until you've kind of got over it. So there's a really... there's a lovely piece by Khalil Gibran, which I can't quote accurately because I haven't got it in front of me, but he talks about marriage, about having the space between the partners, about the sense that they don't belong to each other, but they belong with each other. And so it's a collaboration of equals, not a kind of codependency.
Right, because most people are do you think it's a self-love issue then, why people put so much emphasis on needing that person to fulfill them?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, because to me, when I started working with identity shifting, I realized that there are kind of 3 foundational ingredients that you need to kind of bring along for the ride, and one of probably the most important one is self-love. And for me, love is a verb. It's an active thing that we do. It's not something we acquire from somebody else. It is a noun. So when it comes to self-love, that means flowing compassion. So in the same way that if you saw someone suffering that was a total stranger, you would feel compassion. We are wired for compassion, human beings. So it means compassion. It means a sense of respect. So respecting yourself and acknowledging that you have value, you have worth. And I know that in our culture, there are a lot of people who've been trained out of that. So part of what I do with identity shifting is because when we shift identity, we are not becoming someone else. That's not the point here. We are actually becoming a truer, more authentic, more expanded version of ourselves. We're the people that we were always meant to be. You know, I came here to be an individual with expressing all of the things that are really core, my core values, core to me. And it's taken me, I will not tell you how many, quite decades, years going around the planet, but it's taken me, until now, really, well, the last 5 years, to really feel that I'm getting good traction with that. So this is not something we necessarily have figured out by the time we're 20. But the part about self-love, the earlier we get a sense of that notion that we are worthy. Each and every single person on the planet is worthy. And when it comes to self-talk, I want to say this. I have a client whom we have, basically when she has a crisis happening, she'll send me a text or an email. And very often my response is to send her a little hashtag sequence of hug, slap, hug. Because it's like,
that's great.
You know that you know better. Because her particular pattern is to get very self-critical. And again, we know from the brain science that we've been trained in our culture to use criticism to motivate change. You know, we use criticism and shame. Oh, they should be ashamed of themselves. They should do things differently. Or I should do things differently. And we bring this sense of criticism and shame. That actually shuts down all the parts of our brain that we really want on board, like creativity, innovation, productivity, memory processing, all those kinds of things. So if we can get off the self-criticism and onto self-love, which triggers much more creative and much more connection, ability to connect, all of those things that we need. And the nice thing about self-love is it's actually really easy to do, because
I was going to ask you, do you have any techniques for people who may not?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as you hear something in your head, or you hear yourself say something out loud, the really good clues are sentences that begin with things like, why do I always, or why do I never, or why do they always, or why do they never, anything that tends to put these generalizations into place. As soon as you hear yourself say that, just pause, and again, take a deep breath, because of that oxygen, we always like the oxygen, and ask yourself, if I were talking to my best friend in the world, somebody that I absolutely adore, and she was in the middle of suffering. So this is not what we were not talking about when you're both having a great day and we're kind of, we bounce off each other and that kind of stuff. But when your best friend is in pain, or your beloved daughter, or your beloved mother, whoever it might be, would you say that to them? Would you talk like that to them? Would you use that tone of voice with them? Of course you wouldn't.
Right.
Never in a million years. You wouldn't hurt them like that. So if you're going to be like that towards your, if you know how you would be towards your best friend when she's in pain, that's how you want to be to yourself, especially when things seem to be going pear-shaped. Because when you're in pain and it's hard, you need that support. You don't need the criticism and you don't need the shaming.
That was beautifully put. I think that's the most, and with a beautiful accent. Beautiful Australian accent.
I was thinking the same thing, actually.
What if somebody's not clear, though, on exactly what they want, or they feel like they've tried everything, law of attraction-wise, and still they aren't manifesting their results?
Okay, a couple of things. First of all, if somebody's not clear, the very first thing I say to someone who says, but I don't know what I want, I have so been there. I cannot tell you how many years I spent saying to people, I can remember turning 40 and saying, I just still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. There was that sense of I don't know who I am. And one of the techniques you can use is to simply imagine becoming a person who has clarity. So that's the identity that you're shifting towards. Okay. And it takes the pressure off because you know that, okay, that means right at the moment I don't have clarity. And the person I'm becoming is someone who has a little more clarity. And you can do it you don't have to know it all at once. There's a lovely thing that Abraham Hicks talks about, which is the idea that
Abraham Hicks.
Universe knows what you want anyway. The moment you experience what they call contrast, something going wrong, some pain, your desire immediately springs into being. You may not yet be able to articulate that, but universe knows what it is anyway. So there's a sense of, you can sort of trust that, and then you may just know that you want to be happier. So you can play that same game of saying, okay, somebody who's happier, what does she do when she wakes up in the morning? Or perhaps she spends the first 5 minutes before she even sets foot on the ground just appreciating her life. Maybe that's all she does, is she just lies in bed for 5 minutes and appreciates her pillow, appreciates the fact that there is sunshine or that there is daylight, appreciates the fact that she can breathe, appreciates the fact that she's on the planet, and that there is a brand new day. So you can kind of take it really small and do it in increments. You don't have to have it all figured out at once, because that's pressure.
Yes.
And that's potential for self-criticism, and that brings all of that stuff back in again.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break on that note, and we'll be back with more from the Identity Shift Ninja.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
And we're back
Oh my goodness.
with the identity
Ninja shift. No,
ninja.
we said it wrong.
What?
Identity shift ninja. Did
That's
we
what
say
I
it?
said.
Did you? Yeah, you were right.
All right, Janet. So tell us
I
about
had too much Tito.
oh, really letting go. How do you let go of the attachment?
Okay, I think this is another one of those foundational pieces. Is this the ability to let go of and what we're talking about really is you need to be able to let go of needing things to change in order to be happy, because your new identity, the identity of the person that you want to become, she doesn't need anything to change. And this is so paradoxical, and it is so the opposite of what we're taught in our culture. You know, in our culture, every single romantic movie you ever see, or almost all of them, has at the core a story that says you can only be happy when you find your ideal mate. And for sure, it's lovely to watch those movies. I'm a sucker for a good romance.
Yeah.
And at the same time, humans have this fabulous ability to do two completely contradictory things at the same time. And when we master this, when we kind of go, you know what, I really, really want a partner and I don't need one, that's when the magic happens. It's that sweet spot that says, you know, the formula, if you like, is want plus don't need equals get.
I love that.
So being able to release it and sort of say, you know what, I'm okay as I am. I'm perfect as I am. I don't need anything to change. I want something to change, but I don't need it to change. So being able to kind of get to that place, and it can take a little work. And I'd be the first one to say that when there have been some topics around which I've needed to work with a coach to get to that place. So it's not necessarily something that you can always pull off on your own.
Right.
So, and there's plenty of ways to get support with, you know, there are some free coaching sites available. So it's not, you know, this doesn't come down to how much money do I have to spend. And anybody, I want to say right up front, anybody who tells you that you've got to spend thousands of dollars to get the right support, I want to call on that, because I don't think that's true.
Call BS on that.
Love it.
Yeah,
Because so many people are so hung up on the when is it going to happen, how is it going to happen, but you can't focus on the how and the when. You got to just...
That's right. You got to go hands off. And the reason for that is every time you engage those thoughts that say, but I want it now, or it isn't here yet, that's the old identity. So when you're doing identity shifting, one of the things you have to do is let go of that old identity. The old identity needed something to change in order to be happy. The new identity is different. She doesn't need anything to change. So, and sometimes letting go of that old identity, the kinds of ways to go about that is often it's just to do with awareness, to just recognize that the thought I just had, the thought that says I need a man or I need a girl or whatever it might be, that thought is not the thought that your new identity is going to ever have, because there is no need there. And it's and the reason that we need to change that, it's again to do with our neurology. As long as our brain is coming from that place where there is need, it's very hard for our brain to then see opportunities or meet the right people. We literally, our brains will literally just not show us that information because it's not a match for who we think we are in that moment.
And can you go through, before commercial break, you were saying you wanted to do some exercise with us really quick before we...
Right. So,
we have 5 minutes.
So, who wants to volunteer?
We'll have Chrissy. Crazy Chrissy.
I'll do anything.
Okay, so tell me one thing that it is that you're seeking to manifest that you'd like to play with.
What kind of question is that? Shouldn't we all know?
What do you
Dream job, soulmate.
Let's do soulmate.
All
She's
right,
looking. No,
fine.
let's not. Well, what do you want to do? I don't want to give you answers. Go ahead.
Right, good.
Go ahead.
I guess we'll focus on the soulmate since we're talking about love.
Okay, so focus on the soulmate. All right. So thinking about do you have a sense of the girl that you will be when you have your soulmate?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me ask you some questions, and for each of these questions, just come up with maybe 1 or 2 answers.
Okay. I'll have Connie help me.
And these are going to be really seriously. I am. This is very unlikely to be scary. I don't make guarantees. So let's think of an example. So thinking about that girl, how does she feel about her own body? Let's start there.
Oh, gee.
What are
Dude,
some
you have a
thoughts
hot
that
body. Smack you.
I had too many Tito's, so right now I'm on a diet.
Yeah, okay. So is that how that girl's going to think about her body?
No.
Oh, you
Right,
want
Janet.
You want she's gorgeous. So I want to
Thanks,
smack her.
Connie.
I want to do the hug, slap, hug.
She's going to start texting me that now. I know it.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Jen.
so think about that girl. How does she? Give me some ideas of. Let's reframe it slightly. When she's looking at herself in the mirror, what are some thoughts that she would have looking at her reflection?
Can you talk about like what you think you are as a person, or you mean physically?
It can be anything. I'll give you an example. I'll tell you what I worked with when I was playing with this on a different topic. The thought that I decided this person would have when she looked in the mirror was she would just look in the mirror and she would go, "Hello, sweetie." That was it.
Aww.
It was loving. It wasn't anything to do with how I looked. It
Right.
didn't matter if I was straight out of the shower with my hair sticking out in all directions and no makeup. That thought would still be "Hello, sweetie." So, do you have an idea of how that girl is going to think about her reflection when she sees it?
What do you think?
Yeah.
I just look and think that I'm fun and I'm loving.
Okay.
That's good.
So as you see the reflection in the mirror, so from now on, every time you see your reflection in a mirror, in a street, in a shop window, in a passing car reflection, anything like that, that's the thought you want to practice.
Okay.
So do you think you'll remember that?
Yes, I'm fun.
I'll
and I'm
remind
loving.
her. I'll remind her.
I'm fun and I'm loving.
So that's just one example. So let's think of another one. So that's an imprinting example. This is a thought. So you're practicing a new thought, or you're practicing the thought that girl will have. And it has nothing to do with whether she has a partner at the moment or not.
Okay.
See how that works?
Yeah.
So thinking about, let's think about something more practical, like something that anchors you. When she wakes, now do you currently have a ritual that you use when you wake up in the morning?
No, I hit the snooze button about 1,000 times. That's about it, Janet. I dread getting out of the bed. I have a nice Tempur-Pedic bed now, thanks to
So
thanks to
think about, all
Sleepies.
right, let's think about something like, how does she order coffee?
I don't drink coffee, but
Don't drink. Okay. All right. Well, do you ever go to cafes?
nah.
We go.
I go to the bars.
Okay, that works. So when you go to a bar, how does that girl order a drink?
Tito's with club soda and a lemon.
So think about her body
then a
language as
smile.
she's ordering the drink.
Uh-huh.
Is she stand up straight, confident? Is she a little slouched because she's kind of trying to be hiding? Is she kind of out there? So not a necessary. This is not necessary. This might be how you are now, and we don't know each other that well. So I don't know. But is there a difference in how she would order a drink from the way you would order a drink?
My future self? Probably, I would say, yeah.
You would think so?
I don't know.
No, when you order a drink, you're fun.
That's true.
No.
Yeah, I just yell at them. I'm like,
No.
Tito.
So this is the kind of diving down that we do. It's like drilling for information about who this new identity is, and where you find there's no gap, which that might be an example where there's no gap between who you are now and who that girl is.
Okay.
That's great. We just keep, you just kind of score that one up and go, great. That's all right. I'm already a fit for that.
Okay.
And then you look for areas where there's a gap. So, do you think that girl would simply hit the snooze button 14,000 times in the morning, or do you think she might have a different way of waking up in the morning?
I think you're right. A different way of waking up.
Do you know have you got any insights into how that might be? Any little clues what that might look like?
I wish we had more time to really go through all this, because now I'm going to be calling her later and wanting to figure all this out.
You can play with that one on your own. Again,
yeah, I'll
sometimes
email
this
you.
is work that you have to sort of spend a little time with. So have a think about it. Sit down with your journal, play with how would that girl wake up? Maybe she would have flowers on the nightstand, and then the first thing she would do is sniff her flowers. Maybe, I don't know. Whatever it looks like, that's something you can then practice and incorporate into your life. And you do it in this very conscious way.
I love it.
As you're doing it, you're going, I'm already that girl. Nothing needs to change in order for me to be that girl who has a soulmate.
I love that.
Even without the soulmate.
Janet, I wish we had more time. Can you just tell everybody quick where to find you? And also, you're offering 2 classes that you're going to give discounts to our viewers. One is Heal Your Inner Critic for $12.50. You're giving it to them for at healyourinnercritic.com. And then Dream Life Masterclass, you're giving it to our viewers for only $100. It's normally $200. And that's at dreamlife2016.com. Now, the code is Romance2016.
That's it.
All right, so if you put in Romance2016, you'll get the 50% date night discount.
Perfect.
Tell everybody where to find you, Janet. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you'll find me at my website, which I think is easy to remember. It's identityshift.ninja.
I love it.
I love it.
And thank you so much for inviting me on, guys. It's been fun.
Absolutely, and anybody could hire you right from your website, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
For
you can find
coaching.
out all about me there.
Do you have any upcoming courses or anything?
I haven't got anything ready to announce because Mars hasn't gone direct yet. I also do astrology on the side, by the way.
Oh, nice.
But that happens probably in the beginning of July. I'll probably be announcing something.
Excellent.
Okay, well, we love you so much. We want to have you back. This was
Janet,
amazing.
You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
See, it goes by fast.
It does.
And now I didn't get all my questions answered.
All right, Janet, you're amazing. Thank you so much. I'll keep an eye on this one. And to everyone else, we
hug, slap,
and hug. We'll see you next Wednesday at Carlisle on the Green at the
right.
Party in the Park for our date night 1-year celebration.
That's right. Date night,
Peace
Tito
out.
style. We're going to do our self.